Hey everyone, RobloxDev here, back with another one, where today we learn about parameters in functions. So if you don't know what a function is, we learned it just last video, make sure you check that out. So to get started, let's insert a script into server script service. I'm going to name it parameters. So let's get right into it. So last video we created a function where there's two variables and the variables are equal to integer values, and it adds the integer values and then it prints the final answer in the math equation. So I'm going to quickly create a function called math function, and we're going to use this. So let's get right to it. And I'm obviously going to call the function in here, math function, like that. And let's get started. So what we did last video is local number one equals 2, and local number 2 equals 3. Local final answer is equal to number 1 plus number 2, and then print the final answer. What this does is it says we need to print final answer. Final answer is number 1 plus number 2. Number 1 is 2, number 2 is 3, and we need to add them. So final answer is equal to these two added together. So it prints final answer, which will give us 5. So just to prove that real quick, as you can see, this will give us 5. And yeah, but this isn't really that practical, right? Why would you ever do this? So what we do is we use parameters. So in our function, we can create two parameters here. So this one's going to be called, so you can name your parameters anything you want, and you'll understand in a second what these do. Right? So there are my two parameters. So number 1 is going to be equal to first number, and I don't know why I wrote second to what? Second number. What does that mean? So number 1 is this one, number 2 is this one, and obviously these can be named anything you want. It's basically we just created a variable and we haven't defined the variable yet, but we told the script that number 1 is equal to this variable. So what we do is in math function, this is where these brackets come in. So those brackets are basically right there. So obviously these parameters, they don't go there. What we do is we define the parameters. So whatever I put here is called my first parameter, and over here the first parameter is named first number. So it takes the first parameter and it puts it in here when it runs the function's code. I do hope this makes sense. So if we make first number 1 and the second number like 6, it will add them together and it'll give us 7, as you can see right there. And I did go over this. You can type Warren to just make it orange, right? So there you go, it printed 7. And if I made this like 60, it would print 61. As you can see, it printed 61 instead. So that's basically how parameters work. You name the parameter here, and then whatever the first one goes here, this is 1. So when the function runs through, it takes the first parameter, so in this case 1, and it puts it wherever you wrote the name, right? So in this case it took 1 because it's our first parameter. The first parameter is here, and since this is equal to the first parameter right here, as you can see, it took the first parameter and put it there, and it said the number 1 is 1. It did the same with the second parameter is 60. Second parameter here is second number, so we put second number there, and it basically just said, okay, we can put 60 there, and it gave us 61. So if you wanted to use a function like local function kill player, you know, like two parameters can be the player and the killer, and then when you run the kill player function, you could, you know, put the player who died and the killer. So yeah, I hope you learned something this video. It's very short but very simple. I hope you did learn how to use parameters properly in your functions, and good luck with your scripting journey.